All right, welcome back. I'm going to be asking the gentleman on the black table tonight how the week has been so far. I'll be starting with you, Father.
Very eventful, packed with loads of activities. I had speaking engagements. I had, of course, a lot of work on multiple fronts. And of course, today was always locked in my mind as a very important day to look forward to. Nigeria, Lesotho.
Yeah.
I was praying, that our World Cup dreams wouldn't be shattered.
You know what
today.
I've done all day?
Yeah.
You still have hope?
Yeah.
You know what I've done all day? I've stayed away from anything online. I don't want to check. I'm not going to do this.
No, I mean, so at least we are live till the final day.
Yeah.
We beat Lesotho today. South Africa didn't win their game.
Yeah.
So if we
There's
beat
a slim
Benin,
chance.
if we beat Benin Republic and they don't beat Rwanda,
And they drop points.
we go to the US.
That's a serious palpitation.
I'm telling you.
Serious
So
palpitation.
calculators, Qurans, Bibles,
Everything all together.
You
Of course, we're rooting for the Super
That's
Eagles, and we
absolutely.
do hope that miracles, will take place over the week. Gang, how's your week been?
Very good, interesting. The workplace, it was a customer service week for us, so we entertained a lot of clients. I got to represent my brand and give a couple of speeches. I haven't spoken in public in a while, so it was refreshing.
Fantastic. And what about you,
Oh
Dave?
yeah, whoa, I'm not done yet. Good. Sorry, I just remembered.
Okay.
My daughter celebrated her birthday on Monday.
Oh, fantastic.
My older brother on Wednesday.
Ooh,
Oh, wow.
nice.
That's
They do grow
interesting.
fast.
big
right?
congrats to the family.
She just became
It's
a
a party
teenager.
week.
Oh,
I'm just turned 13.
you need to
so-
buy a dog.
She just turned
13.
Yeah, you need to get a
okay.
dog.
Okay.
Why? I'm there already.
He's got it.
I'm
He's
the
got
big
it on
dog.
lockdown. But the week for me was quite interesting because I literally just got back from Ghana. I went for work and it was interesting. And I honestly was expecting hostility between the Ghanaians there based on the things that we have been hearing, but I literally found a lot of nice, very kind people in Ghana, and it's been very peaceful. I mean, it was very peaceful throughout. In fact, from the airport to my, apartment and everything, my engagement. Ghanaians are absolutely fantastic people, very kind and very nice people. And so for me, when I got back, it's been very peaceful and very interesting for me.
All right.
And yes, I enjoyed the whole, customer week, because the aircraft gave us more than what we usually are to get and everything. And
They were extra nice.
they extra nice. They were extra nice, so to speak. So yeah.
And of course, we have a lady joining us, Petty Talker. How are you today?
Oh, I'm great. I'm great, of course. It
Oh,
was
always.
a very hectic day. I did a community outreach thingy today, and I'm really grateful for the fact that I get to do that, educate younger girls and in things that their parents, can't tell them, unfortunately.
All right, cool. So, thank you all for asking. I had a fantastic week too. Okay, moving on.
But you're the one asking now.
Wait, calm down now. We
Really
need to
ask.
talk about the Crocs.
Let's moving on.
All right, moving on. So there's this lady online calling out married women who use their siblings as next of kin instead of their husbands. She said most men list their wives, but when it's the women's turn, they write their younger brother's name and they get, this, some of, inflated prices where their husbands are buying just to keep the extra cash. Now she's asking why going to marriage already preparing for the worst. Is it lack of trust or just self-protection? Let's talk about it. But before then, let's say from the horse's mouth as we have a video.
One thing I've come to notice, out of 100 times, 98% of the times, men would use their wives as next of kin. I thought it was normal till I began to notice women buy lands. They would rather use their siblings as next of kin. You have a husband. Now, I'm not talking about those men that used to use their parents, but that's not my problem. I'm talking about husband and wife now. You have a husband. Your husband's own property. It's not my business, but I just want us to understand something. Your husband's own property. You are the next of kin. You now came to buy land. Your next of kin is your younger brother. If you ask them, they're like, man, if you do anything anytime, do you go into marriage preparing for bad things to happen?
All right, I'm just gonna call this bullshit. There's no data backing it. There's no data backing it at all that women do this, and if women are doing it, especially married women, I think there are certain documents that back up, when you're buying a property or opening an account or whatever. But yeah, that's just my own opinion. But what do you think about what this young lady has said?
So first off, like you quite rightly said, I'm not sure she's got empirical data to show that that many women do it, even if there are women who do it. And I don't doubt that there are women who do it, as there would be men who also name their next of kin. We heard of the high-profile Ashraf Hakimi scenario where he put all his property in his mother's name. So high-profile, very high-value men who have a lot to lose will do that.
Exactly.
So you'd have prenuptial arrangements in other climes, like in America. NBA stars, entertainers would have a predefined arrangement if the relationship goes south. But I guess the question is, what is the thinking behind, or the mindset behind that kind of behavior? Or you have a spouse, but you're not using your spouse as your next of kin. How does that make sense? There are two contexts within which it can make sense, in my own opinion. And this is not about rightness or wrongness. It's understanding polarities. A polarity is where you have two poles, two valid positions on the same issue, right? So culturally and historically, men were supposed to be providers. So a lot of men never really looked into what their women had, right?
True.
If anything, they took pride in it. So if the woman acquired property and used her sibling as a next of kin, he didn't really care, because that would be her way of looking after them in case of an eventuality.
Exactly, yes.
Right? So it's not a case of, the woman not trusting the man. It's that the man has got his own money,
and it's fine without
he's fine without me. But society has since evolved, where we have now gone from single income households, where that single income used to be sufficient and left a lot of extra to take care of extended family even, to where double income households are mostly struggling to pay the bills. So if you find a scenario within that context where a woman acquires property and uses the sibling as next of kin, then it might be speaking to something deeper, something dysfunctional. Because it's not a case where the man doesn't have interest, since they're collaboratively financing the family. So why will she keep some of her own resources hidden? Then that speaks to something maybe sinister, speaks to maybe broken trust between them. And women always have a litany and a catalog of reasons why men are this or that. Men have betrayed women's trust, and so you must always have like some kind of insurance,
like a backup.
In case something happens, in case he springs a surprise on you, in case he takes a second wife, in case he gets another woman pregnant outside, and but we have to understand that in those instances we're talking about scenarios that are less than ideal at best. There's nothing ideal about a scenario where either the man or the woman are keeping property or resources they have away from their partner.
I get you, gang.
All right.
Okay, so
Bada says it so well. When I just listen to him speak, I just want to keep listening and listening. But we've said this on the show that I want to reiterate again. People need to understand what next of kin implies. Next of kin is not always the beneficiary to the things you leave behind. Next of kin is more like the first person to contact.
Do
you understand? It's like your immediate contact. So just because you have bank accounts and you have other facilities where you put next of kin, that doesn't mean the person inherits or suddenly takes over the property and belongings. So you have to make sure you certify these things with lawyers and certain things to let people know that this person is a beneficiary and should take over land, property, money, or whatever it is. Just filling a next of kin form simply means they will contact that person, and that person will not have the legal right to claim these things. So at the end of the day, and what Bada said is so correct, because women, especially if a woman that her man has it all, do you understand? What do you give a man that has everything? So of course sometimes she thinks of her own family, because culturally sometimes in Nigeria, when men pass away, you know, sometimes those in-laws and the rest come and take everything and culturally deny some women the properties that belong to them and the family. So at the same time, if she keeps on putting things in his name, what happens to her own things in terms of ownership? But this just goes to show the unity in households. Do two truly become one? Or are you guys still living as separate people?
Thank you. I'm going to ask Petty quickly, then I'll ask Dek his thoughts on this. Petty, so you've listened to, of course, what Bada and gang have to say about this. What are your thoughts as a woman? Do you think women are justified to hide away property in any case or any form?
In this present generation, you can't trust a man.
Hey, God.
Here
we go again.
That's
Because
it's the
men
mentality.
can do and undo. The very moment you think you know who you married, the next minute you're wondering who the hell is living in your house.
Okay.
Why would I want to make that man my next of kin when I know the next day one side chick outside will just carry out? It doesn't make any sense. Like, you guys would love to say, oh, I cannot eat egusi every day. We love to try something different. So anything can happen. What if the next day he hates me? He doesn't like me anymore. He starts treating me like what I don't even understand.
What if
Why
you
would
start hiding things and that is upsetting him?
Sorry?
I said, what if you start hiding things and that starts upsetting him?
Now in business with that now. Get angry. He should get angry. Men 101% never reveal all the properties they own to their wives. They don't even disclose how much they have in their bank accounts. They have hidden bank accounts. So now me go come be the mumu now to tell them all the properties where I get and even put him as my next of kin, so that tomorrow he will plan something drastic, maybe make me kill me because he has found the love of his life, and then
that's a lot.
Property. Okay. Yes, it is what it is. That's what happens today now.
Okay.
But you guys, obviously, because you're a man, you would, try to turn a blind eye and pretend like this is not happening.
No, so who hurt you, sweetheart?
Okay, all right. So, Betty, thanks for that. Dek, does your wife know about all your properties?
My wife knows everything about
including
me.
the Crocs.
Everything about me.
Okay, that's a joking.
Absolutely. No, seriously. My wife knows everything about me, and you see, the thing is, I mean, I can totally understand where this person who was talking about this issue was coming from, just as I can also understand where this where Petite was talking, from as well. You see, the truth is this, right? It breaks down into stratas.
Okay. Going back to polarities, like
various, various strata, basically various understanding of what it is that we are talking about from various perspectives. A woman's perspective is very versatile, one of which is what Petite has talked about. You see, it is one thing for you to respect your spouse, it's another thing for you to trust your spouse. If you don't trust the person, there's no way you would ever imagine that you want to leave something for that person. The question now is, do you think that your spouse wants you to leave something for him? Like you said, Bada, does he even care about whether or not you have something or not?
I'm just going to say this. I think 90% of men don't.
Petite will have a problem if that man writes his mother's name on, on the document. You know why? Because she's trying to protect herself. She's trying to protect, everything that concerns her own side of the marriage. But she said, when you asked her that, okay, what if the guy is not doing anything? He said, that one are in business. When you already have, a biased, a thought about a person that you are supposed to be one with, there's nothing like one in it anymore. It becomes two. You're on your own, I'm on my own. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So the truth is this, if you look at it from the lady who talked about this issue, from her perspective, she's looking at it from a holistic perspective over the fact that, okay, you have decided that you want to get married, and she reiterated, she said, I'm talking about married people. Oh.
Yeah.
If you have decided that you want to marry somebody, you have decided that you want your life to be together.
Yeah.
And so what that essentially means is that the issue of me trying to get documents so that I protect myself is not in the mix at all. It's not even in the
why not? And that's
situation.
why I tell people that the issue we have in this part of the world is that we have many legal options to all of these things. That's why there's a prenup that.
But you know the interesting part. Do you know the interesting part?
Everything that
in
should
this
happen if things happen.
In our society, in this African Nigerian society, it's even worse than the West. You know why? Thank you. Because in the West, automatically, if you get a property, your wife owns it. Whether you write next of kin or not. You get a property outside the country, I mean in the civilized country, I'm talking about the West, the US or the UK, my brother, if you shout at your wife, hey, your wife calls the police, my brother, you will go, like one of our guys said, once you see them at the train station and they are not taking the first train or the second train, they are trying to mount their own tents in that side. My brother, the truth is this, right? It's the truth. You don't need next of kin. You don't need it. That's the truth. But they will do that because obviously they want to protect themselves. They want to protect their interest in this whole thing.
Right.
We have women who literally buy houses and tell their husband that they rented the houses and they are paying themselves rent. What do you say about
so before
that?
we take a short break,
let's balance it out. There are also women, right, who buy houses for their spouses.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So let's not speak in absolutes. Like I said, the lack of trust in relationships will show up in so many ways.
Yeah,
not only in acquisition of property.
Yes.
And in so many ways, in sharing information even. So for me, at the heart of the relationship, there's a dysfunctionality.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
It will manifest in more than one ways.
Yes.
If the man or the woman thinks my spouse is not trustworthy,
it will not be only property.
It's not only property.
I agree. That's why I said that you have to look at it from various spectrum.
Yeah.
And you see, you must also understand, right? Women have a heart of their own. They can choose to trust a man even if they know that man is not trustworthy.
Okay, but let me just give this instance.
That's
then
the truth.
we take a quick break. A friend just lost a lady. Her husband just lost his mom, and she had taken life insurances on both their parents, but the husband didn't know. But guess what? He's thankful about it now because men generally sometimes we don't take the necessary steps. We don't take things that we feel
pay attention
but
to
women pay attention to all of that. So sometimes, like you said, it's like two sides are right depending on the context, and hopefully we all don't fall into it.
Depending on the dynamic of the
dynamics of the relationship.
But can I tell you one final thing? And this is a personal experience. When I didn't know much about next of kin, when I was younger, I always used to put my mom. When I got older, I always used to put my twin brother. Even when I got married, it was still my twin brother that I was just putting as next of kin, next of kin. Then after one or two things, I now realized I needed to change it. Then I started putting my wife. So sometimes you need to actually have that knowledge to understand the whole dynamics of next of
what
kin
it is
and the implications.
about. The truth is this, right? If we look at it holistically, like the whole conversation is about whether or not somebody trusts one person.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, like you said, again, it's about understanding what the word means. That next of kin, what does it even mean? If we understand what next of kin means, I don't think we will fight about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So I don't think the issue really is next of kin. It's ownership. Right? That's what we're really discussing here. Not the technicality of the meaning of next of kin. So the assumption is that the woman wants to keep certain property that belong to her on the blind side of the spouse.
Which is why Petit said that I have to keep something for myself.
Absolutely.
So is it keeping something?
It's an insurance
why?
policy.
Why exactly?
Yeah.
Why? So that's the thing. The next of kin matter here is not ownership. That's what
it is actually
it's not ownership. No, it's not ownership.
If you take a
next
look at
of kin, who can we contact in the case of an eventuality.
Yeah, you
That's
know
what it
that's
means.
That's what it means.
But that's not-
It's
that's
also
not-
about ownership
yeah,
when you really think
exactly.
about
But
it.
people take it as ownership.
Yes, that's
on,
it.
on
now.
this note, we need to take a quick break. When we return, we'll dive into the main conversation for tonight: financial compatibility. I hope we don't get into trouble. See you right after the short break.